welcome to Lincolnshire Aviation Heritage Centre, the former RAF East Kirkby, for a date with NX611. This World War II Lancaster bomber is far more than a static display, as she is a taxiing example and is known to most people as Just Jane. Now, what better place to start a visit to a museum than in the cafe? Can thoroughly recommend the breakfast, and this place alone would constitute as its own mini museum. It's surely got to be World War II RAF man cave heaven. What started as a private collection and two men's passion to honour their departed brother has morphed into a cracking museum. In the well-stocked gift shop, I treated myself to two farmers in Lancaster by Jenny Walton, which gives the backstory to Fred and Harold Panton, who bought East Kirkby in 1981 and subsequently a Lancaster bomber. There's so much stuff here on the walls which I'll try and get on camera, but I thought I would start this one with Mr. Chadwick up there, the designer of the AVRO Lancaster. But as you can see, it is absolutely packed. You are in Lancaster heaven here. The aforementioned farmers, Fred and Harold Panton, had both a sister and brother serve in the RAF during World War II. Their elder brother Chris had been killed in a Halifax in 1944, but the museum that you see today doesn't just stand as a memorial to him, but to all the men and women of Bomber Command. I found the guide map very useful, as many things have changed since I was last here in the late 90s, predominantly the fact that most of the buildings have been restored, and like the cafe, are jam-packed full of exhibits. We will start, however, in the new hangar built on the site of the wartime original. So with Just Jane already outside before her taxi run, you can see straight back to another aircraft which is called a B-25 Mitchell, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. Packed in on both sides of the hangar, there are exhibits after exhibits after exhibits, and one of the things that surprised me here is they don't just have items from the RAF from the Second World War, but they've also got quite a number of German items as well, with plenty of information. There's certainly no shortage of aircraft radios. There's an exhibition about the Dam Busters raid, and they have an example of Barnes Wallace's bouncing bomb. On the other side of the hangar, there are some very respectfully exhibited crash site relics, which leave you in no doubt as to the speed of impact. The B-25 Mitchell that you see here came from the RAF Museum and has starred in a couple of films, namely Catch-22 and Hanover Street. All the work that you can hear going on in the background are the volunteers, with a few paid members of staff, working on both the Mitchell and behind the Mosquito. Now at the moment the Mitchell isn't currently in taxiing condition, but this Mosquito is. It didn't look its best that day, so I've borrowed this photograph to give you a better idea, but it is possible to see the de Havilland Mosquito and the AVRO Lancaster taxiing on the same day on certain dates. Check website for details. So here I am by Just Jane at East Kirkby, and
The last people that were standing close to the aircraft have just been moved away. The fire crews are all suited up, and it won't be very long before the 11 o'clock engine run up. First time I've been here since 1996. Absolutely superb.
Now, as I have no intentions of ruining the sound of 4 glorious Rolls-Royce Merlin engines, I'll shut up. So turn up the sound and enjoy. me and my big mouth, the best laid plans of mice and men. So I said turn up the volume, enjoy the glorious sound of 4 Merlin engines, at which point my GoPro battery died and I ended up filming a lot of that on a mobile phone. I can only apologise for the sound quality. Bear that in mind when I show you the last little bit from RAF East Kirkby to give you a taste of the rest of the museum. I can only, again, say I am very sorry, but I think you'll get the idea. So as we leave the museum at East Kirkby, I present to you a view of a fantastic stained glass window from the chapel there. I hope I've piqued your interest and you do find the time to go and visit.